Hey guys, welcome back to the AddMeGamers channel. This is Dan, and we are going to be continuing our StarCraft 2 commentary, and today this is actually a final match on the WSC 2 qualifier between Stephano and Adel. Obviously, Stephano of the map Daybreak is on the top right side as the red Zerg player. On the bottom left we do have Adel as the blue Protoss on the bottom left side of Daybreak. So far nothing is happening, of course. Stephano did send that Overlord to scout out Adel's position and location, so in accordance to that he will be able to know exactly what he's playing, I do believe. They are speaking in French, so no idea what the hell they're saying. If somebody knows, you can just translate it for me, but they are having a blast, so laughing about it. So this is the final. We do have Adel, of course, going for that gateway, and we do have pylon and assimilator first, so we should see, I do believe, that first zealot coming up the moment that gateway is ready, and hopefully a cybernetics core the moment that is finished as well. Spawning pools up, and that first hatchery as well for Stephano, I mean that second hatchery, so we should see a couple of Zerglings pop up as soon as possible. That cybernetics core did manage to come up, and we should have that warp gate research as soon as possible for Adel, and finally that Overlord's going to be coming down, scouting out that he is going for that initial gateway cybernetics core build, so he will know exactly how to deal with this second assimilator coming online. So we should see a little bit of heavy teching up by Adel, or production of units that do require a lot of SP and gas. So it really depends on the strategy that Adel decides to use. We shall see as time goes by. So far Stephano is still playing it a little bit cool in some sense of a way, as Zergs do need a little bit of time to be able to start producing that mass quick army that they can produce. Of course Daybreak does allow for that second base to be dropped down pretty quickly. Unfortunately the entrance for the second base is pretty wide, so for Zergs it's not such a big issue in terms of closing it up, but for the Protoss it is. So if they do decide to build that secondary base, he is obviously going to blow up the supply depot, and he is probably going to make a wall off towards the ramp itself, or he might decide to wall it off in the center. But this is quite a big area. Adel might just decide to go with that wall off. Here comes that Nexus we're gonna have for those 400 crystals. There it is, and he should plop it down immediately, and that first sentry is coming down. So of course Stephano is able to see that crystal deposit, mineral deposit, with the nice placement of these Overlords. You can place these Overlords on these very good spots that they can be reached by and spotted and scouted by Adel. So very nice placements by Stephano, so that gives him just a little bit scouting. Here comes that Overlord. Maybe he's just going to move forward and back, so he just spots that Nexus, and he knows that he's going for that second base. So Stephano does plop down the third hatchery, which was already plopped down for quite a while, though it's already halfway through. Metabolic boost coming online, so we should have quicker Zerglings in terms of their speed. So far 2 Zerglings coming in just to scout out the wall. He is going for a complete wall off, though. We're gonna have 2 gateways and pylon and maybe another gateway here, so time will tell exactly what happens. Here come the 2 Zerglings. They spot the wall, they decide to move back, and you know it will be actually walled off towards this place here. So pretty interesting play. He can always just throw down a force field by those sentries, so, and maybe this where the actual zealot is, he might actually put a pylon. I do believe you might just stick a pylon here and then just keep the entrance where the zealot is. So it really depends on how you'll decide to play it. We do have more gateways coming online, so we do have 4 gateways. Of course the warp gate research has been complete, so we might actually start to see a little bit of building up that Protoss army. So here comes a small little push, 3 sentries and that zealot. That Zergling should pretty much fall, though. No, it did manage to escape because of the speed. So another pylon is being placed down here, and we do believe, I do believe one more pylon should be placed here, or maybe it just can't pass because of the, I think it might, I'm not sure, or the only entrance is from here, but it does seem like he might have completely walled it off. So Adel is pretty much nice and safely tucked away, of course, moving in for that Zelnaga tower with a lot of sentries in play and that one zealot. So finally Stephano, of course, with that roach room complete. He has 7 roaches being completed and 17 Zerglings, so he is going with that famous roach Zergling mix and build. So Stephano is really going to be getting those roaches in production pretty well. So is he going to be of course the Overlord did spot this movement. I do believe he does spot this movement. Yes, he does. Stephano can't see this coming, so it really depends on how Stephano decides to deal with this. And he's going to be pushing out. Here come the Zerglings. Zerglings pushing forward. Sentries placing down force fields to prevent those Zerglings from giving us around. Of course, roaches throwing that acid across those force fields. More force fields being placed down to prevent those Zerglings from making it around. Nice reinforcements by the Stalkers. They should pretty much pick off the Zerglings. A little bit of kiting to make those Zerglings drop. Zerglings, of course, with that speed, are going to be easily surrounding those Stalkers. Roaches moving forward. Zealots, of course, are going to be dropped by the Roaches themselves. And so far, this actual push looks very, very positive for Stephano. The Zergling speed of the metabolic boost is really going to make those Stalkers pointless. They can't run away, especially with only 3 Stalkers. And the rest of them drop. We do have more force fields being placed down to prevent that push from Stephano. So very nice placement of those force fields. They are going to be retreating into the base. Good game, well played. And Adel knows he's going to be losing, and this is it. He calls it a good game. And this is for the finals between Adel and Stephano. As always, give it a thumbs up if you do like it. It was a very, very short and quick game. I do believe Adel decided to risk a little too much by pushing out early with that force, as he didn't know that Stephano already had in play a couple of roaches. So Adel might have or should have waited maybe at least to get 1 or 2 immortals out to be able to deal with this, and a proper strategic placement of those force fields would have sort of kept him a little bit alive, especially giving a distance with those roaches, just moving a little away with those roaches to keep those roaches to be unable to attack his units themselves. Well, this is it for the final between these two players. As always, happy gaming, and see you guys in the next replay.